Shalom, Markins. This is your Hebrew Israelite brother, Mashapa, right here in the city of Detroit. I'd like to give all praises and all honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elects. Shalom. Welcome to today's lesson. Today's video is on Genesis chapter 6, verse 17, concerning the flooding. There's in Libya, there's some flooding that just occurred. There are two large dams that they have in place just burst, and once they burst, the flood waters came down, pouring down upon the people in the city, and so this right here is a video concerning the weather and the turbulence of the waters and the flooding. And also, we're going to put some scriptures with it. And so check out this newswoman as she describes what went down and how the flood waters was affecting the different topography of the land. Here we go.
Good news is that it has weakened dramatically and fallen apart as it moved from Libya into Egypt. But it was a very powerful system with a pretty nasty history that began last week in the southeast of Europe. It caused flooding in Turkey as well as Bulgaria and Greece. Torrential rain, about 6 months worth, fell in 2 days, and that turned villages into lakes. Now, it sat in the Mediterranean, pulling into the weekend further south into northern areas of eastern Libya. There it is, edging in, bringing exceptional amounts of rain. Now, we don't have a lot of data for this area of the world. We do know, however, that Benghazi gets about 3 millimeters of rain on average in September. Well, to the east of that, a city received on Sunday into Monday 140 millimeters in just 12 hours. That caused the rivers to flood, the dams to collapse, and of course, that lethal flash flood. The good news is the storm moved very quickly out east to Egypt, taking heavy rain, not as heavy as what we saw in Libya. Some very powerful winds, though. We are expecting some pretty nasty sandstorms, but behind it, clearer skies, which is good news for places that have been the worst hit, and those recovery efforts are now underway.
Kara, thank you very much for that. Now, joining us to speak more about the situation in Libya is H.I.D, who's president of the National Council on U.S.-Libya Relations, and he's originally from Derna, the city hardest hit by these floods. He's joining us from Phoenix, Arizona in the U.S. Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. H.I.D. I know you've been speaking to friends and family in Derna, and are you getting first a clear picture of the scale of this disaster?
Well, thank you for having me. Frankly speaking, Derna is truly besieged by its own nature of geography. It is actually wedged under the mountain, the Green Mountain in Libya. And with the tragedy that has happened, they have lost pretty much connection with the rest of the world. To prove this, it took about 24 hours at least to appreciate the intensity of the damage that has occurred in Derna. Up until now, they still do not have communications with the outside. Aid that is supposed to be coming into Derna is trickling in a dismal manner. It is really stuck on the road. Almost all the roads are closed, right, totally destroyed, and there is no access to the city.
Right.
The numbers are still going up, and as you recall, it was 160 yesterday morning when I announced that it was 2,000 and more. And through my communications with friends and relatives, I have lost many of our own family in there, and we're still looking for many others. But the estimates are going to be increasing by the minute as they are excavating and pulling out bodies. Yeah. They are in desperate status at this point. There is very, very minimal and slow aid that is coming in. They have not seen the Turkish supplies coming into there. They have not seen any significant donations.
Right.
The United States of America, in its might, is trying to put and assemble something. But so far, the donation from the United States has only been $100,000,
Right.
which is absolutely dismal for this status.
Indeed. And a number of countries, including Turkey, as we've heard, Algeria, also sending in aid. But the question is, who is leading the response on the ground? Because, of course, Libya is governed by two rival administrations, one in the east and one in the west. What's the administration in the east, led by warlord Khalifa Haftar, doing to help?
Now we're going to go ahead and go off into some scriptures. We're going to go off into Genesis in chapter 6, verse 17. And as it reads, now remember, this is what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is doing. This is what the Lord is doing. He is the one that's making sure that this flooding is happening. Remember, nothing happens in this world that unless it's first written in, sanctioned by Yahweh. Okay, now we talking about, really they're talking about up to 10,000 people, maybe feared dead, over there, drowned, and still thousands more are missing, you see. And so this is Genesis chapter 6, verse 17. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh. You see, the Lord is destroying all flesh. He's bringing a flood. You know, this flooding that he's doing right now is to destroy the flesh of the people over there, because there's much wickedness over there in Libya. You see, remember, you see, they are of the heathen nations. They're Hamites. You see, they're Hamites. You see, wherein is the breath of life. You see, from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. You see, this is what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is doing. And he's making it prevalent and making it understood that by his works and his will and his devastation and his wrath, the people shall know that it is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Almighty Father, and his wrath upon the people, you see, upon the inhabitants of the planet Earth. But with thee will I establish my covenant. I'm talking about us, Israelites. Those of us who are calling upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know, and those of us who have established a covenant with Yahweh by sacrifice. And thou shalt come into the ark. You see, we shall come into the ark, the chariots. Thou and thy sons, those that are with us, our children, thy wife, our wives, and thy sons, wives, you see, with thee. You see, you see. And so this is what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is doing, the Almighty Father. And this is concerning Noah, but we're using this in the text concerning the ark being the chariots. You see, and the angels doing for us. You see. So this is a quick video I wanted to do concerning Libya and concerning the flooding, you see, that's been going on over there, you see. And this is what the Lord has brought forth. This is what the Lord has brought forth. So we're going to listen to a little bit more of this newscast. Then we're going to go ahead and close it out.